Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here. As you can tell, Christmas is here, right? So, we're going to have to make do with what we've got. So we've got a handheld mic, apparently. That's why we're at such a weird angle over here. Anyway, Kill Team. Don't know if you're aware that's a game. We've gone for the smallest errata that we've seen in the game to now, I think, confidently say, the biggest balanced data slate. This is... So I was going to break it down and do slides on it, but firstly they've changed the format of everything, and there's so much I thought it might be better for you guys that I just actually go through it. Okay. So firstly, we have a core change to the rules. You can never be lowered, debuffed to below 2 circle movement. I think good, this is definitely needed, because that was like a direct nerf to slow teams, aka Hierotek Circle. If you're a circle player, hold up for their changes, okay? We then have no change to equipment, that's just the indirect rule. Replace army lists, no changes there. That makes sense, yep. Okay, now you see we've got Season 1 and Season 2, so they're kind of making those very official terms, even in the data slate, so I think that's pretty cool, good idea. None of the compendium changes. Sorry guys, compendium is dead as far as balance changes are concerned. I know, it sucks. Pathfinders. -1 operative. There you go. That was a nice easy change. The nerfs here are simps, okay? Easy peasy. -1 operative takes them from a 13 model team to a 12 model team. Nice, cool. No other changes. I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest. But it's okay. Cool. -1 operative. Right. Morok. Phobos strike team. Deadly shots is changed. Okay. Is it? Sorry? Yes. So, allow me to read it for you. They got deadly shots, 1 CP ploy, in the last balanced data set, but it is now new. Until the end of the turning point, bolt weapons that friendly Phobos strike team operatives are equipped with gain the P1 critical hit rule. This has no effect on weapons that already have the APX special rule. For those of you thinking, wait, didn't they already have that? Not quite, m'lady. This used to be, you got P1 added to your bolter if you didn't move. And then, so if you hadn't moved in your activation already, you got P1, which was useless. Cool. Right. So that's good. This is now just they get P1 on their bolters for a CP. Significantly more effective. Is it enough? Who knows. However, they get more. Reaver's Terror Action 0 AP. Good change. Nice. I think everybody pretty much agreed that this is, yeah, they should have just released with the Terror Action not costing an AP. Nice. Incursor's multi-spectrum array ability. Change first bullet point to read, the intended target cannot be obscured. Now, just off the top of my head, what this means is, it used to be an Incursor's Oculus Bolt gun, I believe it was called, meant that it changed the way obscuring works. So normally obscuring is if you are over circle from a piece of heavy cover. Terrain doesn't exist, we have cover. From a piece of heavy cover, then you are obscured. The Incursor's special ability was if you are over 2 circle from heavy cover, then you are obscured. So it gave you that extra circle to play with. Quite good on certain maps, but if there was any very large pieces of terrain, then you were still going to be obscured. Now, you can just never be obscured. What's the practical change here? I mean, it's big. I mean, not being able to be obscured is a large part of the game. This is probably something they need. However, in reality, the only 2 models you were taking that were going to be Incursors were the Marksman. So that's your Sniper, which is good. Like, really good thing for him. This means that you can't get any of those weird non-reciprocal golden angle shots. So, cool. Probably a good thing, because I'm going to tell you, those are some real feel-bad shots, let me tell you that. And I think the Veteran was also actually an Incursor and not an Infiltrator. And then we have Guerrilla Warfare and Leaders Strategize actions. Change distance requirement to square instead of what is it? Pentagon? What? Whatever. Doesn't matter. So before, strategize and guerrilla warfare used to be that if you are within 6 inches of an opponent, you cannot use them. Now it's 3. I don't know. I wasn't aware that was an issue. I guess that's fine. Cool. Fine. Whatever. So those are some buffs for Phobos. Let's have a think. Is that enough? Is that what they need? So firstly, the change to deadly shots I'm happy with. I don't know if they needed deadly shots in the first place. But fine, I guess. Whatever. But a good change to the strat. Terror, 0 AP, good. Honestly, I had never heard anybody really complaining about the Incursor ability, but fine, I guess. Frankly, I'm gonna bang on about this forever now, but I'm generally pro anything that removes those feel bads of a golden angle shot. Cool. Non-reciprocal shooting is really frustrating, I think. And then we get guerrilla warfare and leadership. Again, I've never heard anybody complain about those, but so it's not really on the list of what people wanted, but I'm fine, I guess. Right. We then go down to the Hunter Clade. So the Phobos have got a buff, which is needed because they were pretty much the worst team. We now go to Hunter Clade, where a lot of people are viewing. Let's see what we've got here. We've got Clade, Troupe, Gellerpox Infected. And then, of course, we are going to get to Farstalkers and Hierotek Circle. But yeah, so these 3 are the ones that pretty much everybody called... Oh, and the Pathfinders are the 4 teams that everyone called for a nerf. So let's see what the Hunter Clade got. So during operative selection, your kill team cannot include more Sicarian operatives than it does Ranger and Vanguard operatives combined. But it can include the same. I'm not sure if that's a change. Okay, hold on. If your kill team includes no more than 4 Sicarian operatives, it can include 1 additional Ranger or Vanguard operative for 11 operatives in total. Okay, gotcha. So what they've done here is they have essentially reworded how your team building works. So Hunter Clade sucked. We gave them +1 operative. What that meant was you would always take an additional Sicarian operative because why wouldn't you? They are just in every possible way better, essentially. This new wording means that to get an additional operative, you can now only take 4 of the Sicarians. You can't take your extra operative as a 5th Sicarian. However, if you want, you can still, just very quickly, you can still take 5 Sicarians, but then you don't get your 6th Ranger Vanguard dude. Well, we're going to have to wait to see how that pans out, if I'm honest. Fair enough, I guess. Okay, yeah. Honestly, I would have just liked to see 1 less operative, but whatever. So, Void Dancer Troupe. Domino Field Strategic Ploy, 1 plus CP. That's a very strange wording. This strategic ploy costs 1 additional command point for each previous time you've used it during the battle. E.g., 1 CP for the first time you would use it, 2 CP. Okay, cool. So, how much of an effect is this actually going to have? Let's have a think. The Void Dancer Troops, essentially, you would, turn 1 and 2, you are always going to use Domino Field. Whether or not you need to use it turn 3 and 4 kind of depends on how the battle's going. But because of this change, you essentially are not going to use it turn 3 and 4. It's going to be, again, interesting. I don't know if that's actually that big of a change. Interesting. If I'm honest, I would have liked to have just seen it changed to 2 CP. I think that would have been good because the Void Dancers already have a way to essentially, by the end of turn 2, get an additional CP. So just make it, yeah. Okay, fine, whatever, we will see. Void Dancers are an interesting one because they're one of those ones that top tier players don't fear too much. I mean, tough to play into them, but they know how to beat them. But for lower tier players, aka moi, your beautiful host really, really hard to play into them. And the truth is, this isn't going to change much, especially considering the fact that we've just had +1 CP in this new Critical Ops pack. This is essentially no change as far as I am concerned. So that's underwhelming, but fair enough. Warp Coven, no changes. That probably makes sense. Warp Coven got their buffs last time, is what it is. Gellerpox Infected, that's what I mean. Techno Curse ability, distance requirement is reduced to circle instead of square. And square for glitchling operatives instead of 6 red. Okay, fair enough. I think that's okay. You have to get a little bit closer. I'm not too fussed about the change from a blue to a white, but red to a blue probably very much needed. That red aura was huge. Revoltingly resilient ability, Glitchling and Gellerpox mutant operatives ignore lost wounds on 6 instead of a 5. Glitchling and Gellerpox mutant. Cool. So I'm just going to, without checking, I'm just going to assume that Gellerpox mutant doesn't include the big guys? Or does it? We're going to have to check. Because that is potentially an absolutely massive change. If it's... Oh, where are they? What are they called? Gellerpox Infected. I'm just finding... So we're looking for Gellerpox mutant. Do these guys have Gellerpox mutant? Rampant Nightmare. Blah, 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 blah. No. Okay. That's fair. Double check. Okay. That's fine. Cool. So, there you go. This is just a change for the actual guys that are named Gellerpox mutant and Glitchling. Sorry, I was just checking to see if they were keywords, and they're not. They are the actual names of the data sheets. Go to a 6-up. I think that's probably a good choice. It's not really that big of a change, but I will confirm that rolling 6s is officially harder than rolling 5s. Thank you. If you want more of this top-tier commentary, you know where to find me. We then go to the Elucidian Starstriders. Privateer support assets improve all BS characteristics by 1. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Ooh. That sounds really good. Okay. Electromeister, Voltgeist Field, and Voltgeist Charge actions. Yes, good. Okay. So, I haven't played Elucidian Starstriders, but I do thoroughly remember when reading through the Electromeister, he just didn't have enough AP to do anything he needed to do. So that's good. He now just gets free abilities that he can and he's just choosing which one he wants on for that turn, but he just naturally does it. Much better. I still don't think I'd ever use the TAC-op with him, where he can potentially score you VP, even though he can perform that mission action for free. Still not worth it. Not at all. But he might actually be useful now. And then we get Voidman's Rotor Cannon, gains Relentless. Good, it should always have had that. Nice, cool. I'm happy with that. Is that going to take Elucidian Starstriders to top tier? Don't know. The biggest change there for me really is +1 BS to those privateer support assets. That's going to be real tasty. Those were already very, very strong. So even in a way, if I had to put my critical eye on, I'd say that's not something they needed. It's good. It's a good change, but that wasn't, I believe, what they were lacking in. That was already a good thing they could do. Change to Electromeister, top tier. Nice. Okay, Season 2. Now, Troupe, Necrons. I have not read these yet, okay? I'm reading these live. I'm actually way more interested in the Hierotek Circle to see what they're changing. And just looking from those bullet points from here, there's 4 changes, but there's not much text there. I'm very scared for what's happening with reanimation protocols. Okay, let's read the Troupe. Operative selection can take 1 additional operative, not a kill broker. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, what? Okay, so +1 model. Now, just off the top of my head, you were already taking every specialist, and you were dropping a regular Crute to bring a second Hound. So this is only giving you +1 regular carnival. That's just quick maths. Man, not hot. Troupe Bow Hunter, Accelerator Bow, improved BS by 1. So you were hitting on... He was still hitting on 4s, which is outrageous. He should definitely be 3s. Was he 4s? Man, Wikipedia is so good. I can just go straight here and look. I don't know how else I would find this without a huge stack of rules books right next to me. So, sorry. Let's go and see what he was before. Bow Hunter. Oh, mad lads. He was 4s. That's insane. I had mentally blocked out how bad the Troupe were. Sorry. Okay, Troupe Pistolist, same. He's gone from 4s to 3s. Troupe Longsight. Now, he was the sniper, so he would have been 3s. Oh my god, he would have been 3s, right? Please. Don't do this. Don't do this to me. Where is he? Longsight. Okay, he was 3s. He was the only guy that's like a sniper. Okay, so he's gone from 3s to 2s. Okay, good. Because that's what snipers should be. Because, to be clear, if we look at this, he's not a sharpshooter, he's a sniper. Okay? Snipers get 2-up BS. That's just how the game works. Cool, cool, cool. What an insult to think that Troupes can't... Okay, whatever. All right, whatever. So anyway, so a bunch of +1 BSs. That's really good for the team. They were not strong shooting. Or melee. Let's see if that changes. Cutthroat strategic deploy to a maximum of 5 attacks. Okay, good. Yes. And... Okay. So I had heard somebody suggest that every Troupe model should just get +1 attack. That's how you fix the team. +1 BS, +1 attack. Actually, that's a huge change. But like, so it's saying here, Cutthroat strategic deploy, maximum of 5 attacks. That's only giving like 2 models +1 attack when you use the deploy, which is good and needed. But I was kind of hoping the next bullet point was every model gets +1 attack, but it's not. Change the EP equipment or as follows. Meat is only 1 EP, trophy 3 EP. Good, okay. Now this is big because trophy was 4, it's gone to 3. That's good. I think that's the right place for it. It's not overpowered. Meat was 3, and it's gone to 1. Let's make sure I'm not being crazy here. Meat was 3 EP. It's now 1. That's big. So meat's a bit of an odd one. It's not potentially as useful as, for example, the Navy Breacher's stim shot, because that just is plus. It takes you from 7 wounds to 8 wounds, which is a really nice place to be. For this, you have to get hit and survive to use this. And you're not great at surviving. But if you do survive, you essentially get between 2 and 4 wounds back just immediately as soon as you activate, which is really nice. Really nice. 1 EP. Ugh. Now you've got some real questions to ask. Are you going to take 3 trophies and 1 meat? Or are you just going to take 10 meat? I think that's going to depend on the matchup you're into, because you're kind of looking to shrug off those lasgun, those low value shots. Because, yeah. But if you get shot by a bolter, you're just dead. And then add the following to rogue ability. Now, the rogue, to be clear, is when you are in cover, you can auto-retain 2 normals, or you can auto-retain 1 crit save. Add the following. In addition, each time a shooting attack is made against this operative, the no cover special has no effect. Okay. Okay. Now, the no cover special isn't particularly prevalent, so that's not a huge change, but it's very important for this team, because it could have easily meant that, I know that Kassakin, for example, that completely OP team, have a lot of access to no cover. I can't remember how, I think from their equipment maybe, or reploy. And that would then just mean that you don't get your cover saves, your rogue ability, which would just, you'd get decimated, but cool. Finally, Hierotek Circle, let's do it. I'm scared about what I'm going to read. Okay. Reanimation Protocol's ability, resolve before living metal ability. Okay, cool. So it used to... So I believe the way this was worded before, you reanimated and then you got living metal. Which means... No, wait, sorry. You got living metal and then you reanimated, which meant that those that had just come back didn't get their plus X wounds. And the reason it did that is because I believe it's that way in 40k. Where in 40k it doesn't have as much of a difference, because typically things come back with full wounds, whereas here it's quite an issue. I don't understand 40k, that could be all wrong. Just go with it. Don't fact check, just go with it. In here, pretty big deal actually, because it has the ability for you to bring back immortals at half health so that they do not count as injured, which is really big. And one of the things that I had said, what I would like to see is that the team cannot be injured. Let's keep reading. I'm pretty sure they're not going to give us that. Okay, all right, let's just read. Cryptek operatives add 2 to wound characteristic and improve BS characteristic of ranged weapons by 1. Nice. Nice. Cryptek's hitting on 4s was a little bit crazy. Now, I understand why, because they have really strong guns, okay? Where are they? Hierotek Circle, right? So I was just looking at these guys. So, they're all hitting on 4s. And I felt that was balanced out quite well by the damage profiles and abilities of their weapons. However, as we know from Kassakin, hitting on 4s isn't actually very fun, especially when you're an elite model. This isn't an elite team, this is an average sized team, but these are your elite models. Hitting on 4s is a little bit insane, and you don't have any way to modify that outside of just a standard CP reroll. So putting them to 3-ups, I think, was a strong choice. Good. And +2 to wounds makes them 13 to 15, right? Is that... oh my god, they are 11 wounds? Okay, alright, let's take them from 11 to 13. Why did I think they were 13? Oh my god, they're such bad models. Oh, wow. Okay, alright, let's keep going. 11 wounds! Never mind, it's fine. Cryptek's command action, 0 AP. Good. So I was looking at I was looking at these literally earlier today. Correct. Completely. Oh wait, no, sorry. I was thinking of the Cryptek actions. My bad. I thought they were making the Cryptek actions 0 AP. Instead they've made the command action 0 AP. What's the command action? Operative visible to within 6 of the operative of a friendly operative. That friendly operative can immediately perform a free fight Overwatch. Oh, okay. Good. That ever costing an AP was insane. Has GW not seen their own rules? This is... Okay. If you look at other leader models, like the Corsair leader, the Nob leader, the Vicious, they have this and it's 0 AP. Except their one is better. Why did this cost AP? Oh my... I have blanked this team from my mind. What? Commence reanimation tactical ploy 0 CP. Correct. Why did it ever cost 1 CP? Phase Oculars action 0 AP. What's Phase Oculars? I have no idea what that is. Let's find out. Because this matters. Because this is... Okay, firstly, I'm a Xenos fanboy, but ignore that. Okay? Necrons were the 9th edition faction. They got the full range refresh, right? And for them to just come out and like be literally the worst team is insane. And it's not that they're okay. I'm having a tough day today, guys, and I think that's why I've gone on this rant. All I'm saying is the Necrons have a lot of things that are costing them resources that should not be costing them resources, and we've seen that these very, 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 very similar abilities in other teams where they did not cost any resource. Whatever. Okay. Right. Phase Oculus action. It's equipment. It's 0 AP now. Cool. Let's jump down to equipment. and find out what that is. I think that's the, what are they called? The death mark thing? Phase oculars? Oh, good. Okay, yeah, nice. Because let's be honest, the death marks already have a heavy weapon. I don't think they needed an extra drain on their AP. So, yeah, that makes sense. 0 AP for that. Cool. Very nice. Okay. Woo. Done. How about that? How about that? Wow. Okay. Guys, I'm sorry. That took ages to read through, didn't it? Okay. Cool. All right. Let's go back. Hello. What do we think about those changes? There's definitely the most number of changes that we've ever seen in the data slate there. Just initial thoughts. Good changes to Phobos. I like them. Because I think, okay, Phobos aren't doing great. But we have also seen, for example, from the Spanish players, number 2 in the world, Carlos, he plays Phobos. And he can perform with them. So we know that they do have the tools. I think this is going to be good and will hopefully bring a bit of a spotlight to the team so that those that like Marines and have maybe been brought in by intercession can now look to a slightly a very different play style Marine team and doesn't have to be on the chaos side with legionaries. I think that's a really strong decision. Obviously, what they just got was a buff, but hopefully, it's more of a spotlight that hey, this team is now strong enough for people to play, and you can perform with them. So, good. Pathfinders -1. That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with that, I guess. We will see a lot of people complain about Pathfinders. The truth is, I haven't had, me personally, I haven't gotten enough reps in against the team to really be able to sit down and say, this is where they've gone wrong, I've heard a lot from other people, but I personally don't have a feeling on that. So, sure, -1 operative, fine. I think the Void Dancers change is a bit of a damp squib, if you will. I think it's going to hurt them at the top tier and do absolutely nothing for the mid tier. So, therefore, I don't care because I don't play against, the top tier is going to beat me anyway. Even if they didn't have access to the domino field, who cares? They just beat me. Like a dog in the street, frankly. Hunter Clade? Again. Bit of a null and void change there. I mean, fine, whatever, cool. I would have just liked to have seen -1 operative to TBH. Gellerpox, cool, fine. Lowering the glitchlings from 6 inches is a really big issue, so it's fine, it's good. Buffs. A lot of buffs to Troupe. I think needed buffs as well. Because the issue with Troupe is that generally they're just a bit ineffective. So giving them some plus BS on their special shooters, good stuff. Who else? And +1 operative. I think that is that going. So this has essentially given you. So I think that's a really solid buff for the Troupe there, because it's giving you another model, which means another activation. And how do you beat stuff? You out-activate them until they make a mistake, and now you have some shooty guys who can move and get a shot off after your enemy's made a mistake, and you've managed to out-activate them until that point. So that's actually pretty good. And now your shooty guys are more consistent, which is what you need so that you can punish the opponent. We then get to the Hierotek Circle. Play it by ear, right? Not what I would have done. They made some. Oh man, I actually just triggered myself by rereading. Okay, as I was rereading the Wikipedia page there for Hierotek Circle, It felt like an April Fool's joke. What were they saying? GW rules writers, stay off the pipe. Everybody, that's Glass Half Dead. Have a good one. Goodbye.